We're back. You know what? Whole lot of things to share with you, but quickly, we opened up a little bit different today. And it's because it's really easy to get in such a deep groove when you're on your way to a field and you want to look for artifacts. Maybe it's a field that was freshly plowed and rained on, and you can't wait to get there. Or maybe you're going to go join some friends and go to a museum, and you pass by pristine moments. Well, what we shared with you is just a moment in time. It's a little marsh that was filled with egrets and herons, and they've been hanging out there for about a week. But it's way beyond the norm, and it's pointing and pushing in toward a migration, a movement of birds. So what I'm saying is this: don't get so ingrained in looking down that you miss the beauty of the whole world around you. And I'm not trying to be philosophical. I just want to fill your life with more joy and more reasons to get outdoors and love it. So welcome to Archaeology 101. And it's good to be with you. I love it having you back. And over my shoulder is a decision. We continue to cook and shake and bake down here, which means the sand is getting harder, tougher to break into. The moisture level is deeper in the sand. It's a lot of work. And now we've reached a point where you have to make a decision. Where are we going to open up new area? And it's not easy. And so we're basing some of these decisions on when we first opened this area and cleared it a few years ago, several years ago. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to walk it over. We're going to look at and see where our thinking leads. And you'll see if we made a good guess or a wrong guess. So come on back in a few minutes, okay? Grab your water bottles. We're going to need them today. All right, we made our choice. We looked the parameter over and thought about where we were hitting fire pits, garbage pits, and things like that from years past. We know that if we push, now stay with me, if we push directly that way, we've got to go at least a good solid 5 yards to get past where all that early potholing took place back in the early 70s. So that would be a long progression to get to where we anticipate more work. So we nixed that. So as we swing around here, we've had success in the past right here. Actually, there was a lot of neat slate. There were some humpback gorgets that were broken, intentionally broken, sawed in half. They came out of the ground right here. And so we're going to give it a go right here. Next time you see us, our faces are going to be red. Our blood vessels will be sticking out. We're going to be soaking wet from sweat. But here's where we're going to move in. We'll see you a little bit later once we get into some action, okay? Agua, agua. Okay, we made our choice and we set up a parameter and we started in. We're moving it down. We chose to go just what roughly would be the plow zone, just a hair below the plow zone. Our goal today is to just level this whole thing out. But we got a whole bunch of buckets full of dirt and we're going to go sift, and hopefully we'll be able to surprise ourselves and dazzle you. So stay aboard, and again, thanks for coming today. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. So a lot of archaeology is just repetitious over and over. We get the dirt off, we got to sift. This is all sand, but oh, here's some chips that are already starting to come out and appear. I'll try to put them where you can see them a little more clearly. Of course, we haven't washed anything, so we don't know exactly what we're getting into yet. But FCR. Oh, there's another one. This is good. These are all good signs. Anytime we, oh, here's, oh, look at this. Looks like a little preform. You see this, people? A preform with maybe a little perforator at the end. So closest to you would be the proximal end. Closest to me is the distal end. And he'll have to be washed and cleaned, but this is all good news. And it's the dilemma that we face is what we call the wash zone. And the wash zone is the everyday living zone. Probably the last people maybe that were here that made a significant inroad into the ground. It could be fire pits, it could be post holes, it could be just walking. And stuff got moved around, pushed around for not just their culture, but cultures that preceded them. So we'll continue surfing through the sand, and if we get some stuff that's unique or different, we'll bring it to your attention. Okay, see you in a minute. Same old, same old. But you know what? We're taking a break. We're going to actually sift a little bit with you. So come on closer and look at what's come out so far. Okay, midday break. Here we go. Down to the pile, and I'll point some things out to you. Here's the tip of a beautiful point. Who knows who he is? And then we have a midsection of a point, a little one right here. Missing our base, missing our tip. We got some blades. We got a preform. We got another end scraper. This one looks like a broken end scraper, but look at the debitage that's come out. And then all this is pottery and a seed. Keeping in mind, I love Brian Redmond's comment about wash when they're just simply walking around on a living area, how things get broke up. And I think this is a really good example. You know, we've got a multiplicity of colors. Now that's really important. They're not all blue, they're not all black, they're not all Flint Ridge like this guy. But there's a multiplicity. So when you work on a chunk of flint, you know, you're going to get pretty much the same color. You may get 25 blades and 200 chips. But this is a mixture. So we're not right by a napping area. And this is a living area. All this stuff has been kicked around, mixed up, and it just makes perfect sense. So stay with me. I'm going to try to get into this real quickly. And when you know it, this is the hard sand. And we'll see if anything's coming out. But so far, it's been coming out real good. We hit a lot of granite FCRs, hardly any sandstone, which earlier I had mentioned to you that that's a good sign. The bake ovens or roast ovens tend to be accentuated by, okay, here we go. Come on in for a minute. And I'm just going to pick up the little pieces of flint that are beginning to uncover. Here's one. Here's one. Here's one. Here's one. Here's one. And here's one right here. Okay. All right. I will continue to sift and see who's hiding. Okay, here's something popped out. Right here. What's this? Oh, it's a quartz, but it's been oxidized by being in the fire. And here's the internal part of the rock where the heat hadn't really penetrated yet, but little FCR and another chip. Okay, I'll keep sifting through here and hopefully we'll get a nice point out of here. Or some pottery. It's just diagnostic material, so helpful. But when we are on one of these wash areas where they're just living space, where people are walking everywhere, sometimes it's really hard to tag it to a culture unless you've got a substantial fire pit or a garbage pit or just something to give you a place to start. I'm looking for pottery as I reduce the stuff. Oh, look at this quartz right here. Heavily oxidized again by the heat. That's cool. I'm going to put him over here. Give him a little more attention. Ooh, here's a hard stone rock that looks like it may actually have little concussions from pecking. And the material is material that, oh, looky here. There's a plane, a geometric plane right there. I don't know if you can see that. This could be the makings of a broken celt that they're pecking it. Here's the hard surface. Here's the hard surface. We've got geometric plane here. Split down the middle. We'll have to wash him and look him over. And that's what a lot of field archaeology is. It's a lot of repetition. You learn a lot as you go. You got to keep an open mind because things change, and if you're highly opinionated, you're going to start missing, cruising right over new information that's right in front of your face. Uh, chip, 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 chip. This is all good stuff. We know we're right in the heart of where somebody's been hanging out, living. See if I can get one nice piece of pottery out of here before we move on. What? There we go. You look, you'll see, remember me talking about the crunchy peanut butter? I'm going to turn them this way. See the inclusion of sand grit right down there? Little piece of pottery. You just got to slow down and have fun and just see who's hiding where and who's who. Oh, and here, look at this piece of pottery right here. Sometimes they're laying upside down and that's all you see right there. So I know, I recognize it. So I flipped them over. Right there's one of our surfaces. Can you see it? It's right by my thumbnail right there. Little tiny crushed piece of pottery. Another one right here. See, he's right there. He was upside down, turned him over, and there's one of the sides of the pot. Oh, it's so frustrating. So frustrating just to keep pulling out these little guys. But we've determined that we do have an activity area. And I'm quickly going to put these to rest. Yep. All right. Isn't this great? Thanks. We'll finish up here shortly and we'll show you the results of today. Okay. So stick around. So how good is your memory? We're quitting. We're cutting it for the day. We brought this horizontal plane down as far, well, not quite as far as we had hoped, but we got it down pretty good. It's just bone dry. We are not able to identify any features in the profiles at all. It's very difficult working in this dry material. But we did. We got our walls established, and this is a good time to break. And we'll come back on another day and take it down the rest of the way. Now we were hitting a lot of flint in this area and a couple points over there, and we're going to go take a look at the material right now. So come on over to the sifter with me. Oh man, I love it. I love the end of the day. We are done. All right, well, let's just take a look at how things went today. First of all, fire cracked rock, but I looked these over really intently, and this might be hard for you to see, but if we look at this side and this side right here, and then we look right here, I can see geometrics here where they were polishing. So we have two sides and a different textured top. I think it's a shattered tool of some sort. Have to clean them, look at them a little bit more. Come on down. This is all the pottery that came out today. Not a lot of big stuff, mostly little fingernail size and smaller, a few big ones, but coming over this way, always exciting, a little flake knife, beautiful tip of a point, base of a point, midsection of a point, blade, end scraper, preform perforator, a core, a very expended core, another blade, another end scraper, overshot. This is, I think it's a preform celt. I'm going to have to look at him a little bit more. This has been oxidized, but look at this guy right here. Holy criminellis. That is the tip of a point right there. But it gets better. I'm going to hold this one. If you look, you're going to see what looks like a rim right there. I hope you can see it. Yeah? And what we have here is more of a rim of steatite. In same area, but about 5 feet away, we found some bigger pieces of the rim. But look how little this guy is. And how carefully you have to go through this material when you're sifting. This is a tremendous find. Diagnostic, well, of course, this is pretty much, I call it the Ashtabula culture, which precedes the early Adena. Um, but unfortunately, there's some Hopa and mixed Adena stuff in here too. So again, I think and respect Brian or Ryan Redmond so much. He's spoken to our archaeology group and done a fine job, and he really well defined a living area and the volume of material that's just broken, kicked, and mixed around. And I think that's exactly what we have here. We've got mix. I just call it wash. It's just completely washed from people working, no distinct features, calling it quits for the day, calling it quits for the day, calling it quits for the day. Thanks for joining us. See you again soon.